My dear students, today we are going to discuss the 8th chapter from your entry English textbook, Wrestling with the Phogats. Okay, so here, before moving to this chapter, we can just have a look at this warm-up session. Here we can see a paragraph and we can just go through this paragraph. Women have always had to struggle to make their mark in sports. In an interview, Indian boxer Mary Kom spoke about how difficult it was for her to get into sport. Okay, here from this paragraph that we can understand that this females or this women in India, they had to struggle a lot. They had to take a lots of risk to enter into the area of sports. And this conservative society thinks that sports, it's not the area for women. Okay. And here we can see the words of the Indian boxer Mary Kom. She said, there are so many rules in society about what a woman can or cannot do. Boxing is not considered respectable for women, and nobody believed I could be a boxing champion, not even my friends. And here, Mary Kom says that the rules in our society that brings about the idea that women they cannot participate in this sports items like boxing. Okay, it's not their area. And she says that nobody had ever a thought that this Mary Kom, she would become the boxing champion. Okay, even her friends, they did not believe the abilities in this boxing champion, Indian boxer Mary Kom. Then Kom went on to win a bronze medal for boxing at the 2012 London Olympics. Okay, so by facing all these difficulties and by challenging all the obstacles, this Mary Kom, she won a bronze medal in 2012 London Olympics. Now we can read this real life story about 6 sisters who became champions in a field that was till then dominated by men. Okay, now without wasting the time, we can move to the chapter. Mahavir Singh Phogat was a young wrestler from Balali, a small village in Haryana. He had dreamt of taking part in international competitions, even the Olympics. Here we can see a person named Mahavir Singh Phogat. Okay, then he was a young wrestler. Then he lived in a village named Balali. Okay, then it was in the Indian state Haryana. Okay, then what about his dream to become an Olympian or to participate in the Olympics? But his dreams had not come true, and he settled down to a quiet government job in his village. But he could not achieve his dream. Then later he got a government job and he settled down in that village by continuing that government job. However, he had hopes for the sons that would be born to him. They would fulfill his dream. Then what was the what about the only hope in the mind of this Mahavir Singh Phogat? In future, his sons, okay, his sons, they will help him to become world famous, or they will achieve their father's dream, that to participate in the Olympics. On a cold winter day in 1988, a daughter was born to Mahavir. Okay, then in 1988, instead of a son or a boy child, he got a daughter. As he looked at the little girl in his arms, he was not disappointed. Okay, so when he looked at the face of that little girl, that daughter, he did not disappointed or did not get sad. He declared with love that she would one day make the family proud. Then what did he announce? That he said that one day that girl child will make the family proud. Okay. That little girl was Geeta Phogat, India's first female wrestler to qualify for the Olympics. And that girl child was Geeta Phogat. Okay. And she was the first female wrestler qualified to the Olympics. Today, Gida has 3 sisters and a brother. Her parents have also adopted Mahavir's brothers, 2 girls. All 6 sisters, Geeta, Babita, Ritu, Sankida, Vinesh and Priyanka, have grown up to be international wrestlers. Okay, so this Geeta Phogat, okay, she has 3 sisters and a brother. Okay, and her parents, that means this Mahavir Phogat and his wife, they adopted Mahavir's brothers, 2 girls. Okay, then here you can see the names of that girls and her brother. Then wrestling was a male dominated sport in India. Chandki Ram, another wrestler from Haryana, was the first Palwan in the country to encourage and train women in sports. Okay, then this wrestling, it was considered as the area of this males or this men. Okay, it was a male dominated area. And who was the first wrestler in from Haryana? It was Palwan Chandki Ram. Okay, Palwan means wrestler. So he started this Chandki Ram. He started what? Encouraging these women to participate in sports, and he gave training in this wrestling. He began training his own daughters. His determination to include women in the sport influenced his former student Mahavir Singh Phogat. Okay, so this Chandki Ram, he was the teacher of this Mahavir Singh Phogat. Then he used to give training to his own daughters. And his guru, this Mahavir's teacher, he influenced this Mahavir. Then with that inspiration, he started giving training to his daughters too in the later future. Everyone in his village was strongly opposed to having women in wrestling. But Mahavir had other ideas. If a woman can be the prime minister of a country, why can't she be a wrestler? Okay, so here, the people, the villagers, they opposed this Mahavir's idea to train his daughters to become the wrestlers. But Mahavir, he took a strong decision and he asked them a question. If a woman can be the prime minister of a country, why can't she be a wrestler? Okay. So he began training Gida and Babida in 1998. Their training schedule was rigorous. So he started training Gida and Babida, and their training schedule was rigorous. Rigorous means very difficult. Okay. Then he woke them up at 5 in the morning and set them to running around the fields. Gida was 10 years old and old then, and Babida 8. He also built an Akada near their home for practice. Okay, so he started training his daughter Gida and Babida. Then they had to wake up at 5 o'clock every morning and they want to run around the fields. Okay, then he had also built an Akada near their house for practicing. Okay, so I think that sometimes you might have seen this Akada. Okay, that it's an area where wrestling matches and trainings are held. Okay, an area where these wrestling matches and training sessions were conducted for these wrestlers. Okay, I will show you the picture of such an Akada, then it will be clear. Here you can see an Akada. Okay, a place where this palwan or this wrestlers, they come and they practice. Okay, these are the tools. In gymnasium, you might have seen some tools like that. These wrestlers, they can also use this tools. Okay, for practicing or for training at the time of training. Then here you can see that a person is training by using that tools. Okay. And he had built an Akada near their home. As a coach, Mahavir was strict and demanding, while other children our age would sleep cozily in their beds. We would be up before sunrise, says Gida. Then these are the words of Gida. And their father, Gida's father, he was very strict as a trainer and demanding. Demanding means he expected, okay, a lots of effort from his trainers, okay, from his students. So this here we can see the words of this Gida, that this Gida says that while their friends, they were sleeping cozily in their beds. Cozily means comfortably. Then at that time, at 5 o'clock, they had to wake up and they had to run around the field. And she says that sleeping for even 10 minutes more was a luxury. Okay, so she always hoped for an extra 10 minutes for sleep. Okay, longed for some more time to sleep, and she considered it as a luxury. Luxury means a pleasure you do not often have. Okay, initially the girls would look for an opportunity to skip training, but they grew to love the life of a wrestler. Okay, initially means at first, that these girls, they tried to skip the training, but later, then what happened? They started loving that training sessions as a wrestler. Then the exhaustion after a hard day's training was satisfying. Okay, the exhaustion, the state of being very tired. So after rigorous practice, continuous practice, they will get exhausted. Then it was satisfying for them. Okay. Still they were ready to work hard. It was a great adventure, says Babita. And what made it special was that we were the only girls in the village who were doing this. And Babita says that this training sessions were like an adventure because no other girls from that village, they practiced like this. Okay. But the villagers thought the family had gone mad. Their attitude towards the Phogats became worse when Mahavir started training the girls along with the boys. And people were furious. They would say, he is destroying the village. He has no shame, says Mahavir. So gradually, the villagers, they started opposing this Mahavir because he started giving training to these girls along with these boys, okay, as mixed. Then these people, they started saying that this conservative people, they started saying that that this Mahavir and his daughters, they will destroy this village. The villagers thought the girls would become like boys, that their faces would get messed up and no one would marry them. So the villagers, they thought that the girls who are attending this wrestling training sessions, they won't get any man to marry, or no one will come to marry them because their faces will get dirty or get messed up, okay, when they continue this training. They made their disapproval clear to Phogats. It was a stressful period for the family, but they would not stop. Okay, so they started disapproving. They were against this Phogats, these villagers, and that period, it was very what we can say stressful period, or a strugglesome period in the life of this Phogats. My master Chandki Ram taught me to face difficulties like we face our opponents on the field, says Mahavir. But Mahavir, he was not ready to give up. Then he said that his teacher or his master, he had taught him how to face difficulties. Okay. The turning point came in 2010 when Gida won India's first Commonwealth gold in women's wrestling. Okay, so now a turning point in their life, it was the moment when this Gida won India's first Commonwealth gold medal. Okay, then the entire village was ecstatic. Ecstatic means very excited and happy. They celebrated for 10 days straight. The Phogat family were heroes. They were no longer a matter of shame for the village. Now the villagers, their viewpoint changed. They started appreciating the great achievement of this Geeta Phogat. Okay. Gida went on to have an incredible career by winning a bronze medal at the 2012 World Championship. Yet another first of an Indian woman, and then qualifying for the 2012 London Olympics. Okay, then her incredible career started. Incredible means extremely good. Okay, extremely good. A career started by winning that bronze medal in 2012 World Championship. then got selection for this London Olympics. Her sisters followed in her footsteps and were not far behind. Pabida won a silver medal at the 2010 Commonwealth Games and a gold medal in the 2014 Games, in which Vinesh too won a gold medal. Ritu became a national champion, and Sankida won many international medals in junior level tournaments. So her sisters, Geeta Phogat sisters and brothers, they also followed her own path, that they also continued achieving great goals and their dreams. The success of the Phogat sisters encouraged many more women to take up wrestling, including Sakshi Malik, who won a bronze medal at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Okay, so this Phogat sisters, this group of girls, they encouraged or they became an inspiration for the other girls in India, and by getting inspiration and encouragement from the sisters, they started practicing, and they won some medals in this area of wrestling. Many villagers from Balali started lining up outside the Phogats' house, asking Mahavir and the girls to help their daughters become wrestlers. Now, the villagers, they came and asked for help from Mahavir, because they want to make their daughters to become wrestlers. Balali today is a very different place. You can see many girls putting on their track pants, t-shirts, heading to Mahavir's gym. Many of them even have the same hairstyle as the Phogat sisters. Okay, now with this Phogat family, that village, the lifestyle of that village was completely changed. Or the viewpoint of the people was completely changed, because they started training their female daughters or girls. Okay, they started wearing track pants, t-shirts, and other modern dresses instead of this traditional dresses. 15 years ago, Mahavir built the first and only wrestling gym for women. Now in Haryana alone, there are more than 50. Okay, so Mahavir, he built the first and only wrestling gym for women. Okay, but later, here we can see that about 50 such gyms for women in Haryana alone. Mahavir is a proud father. My girls have changed not only our village but also the entire state of Haryana. Okay, these are the words of Mahavir, and he was proud to be the father of his great daughters. Okay, now I will show you the pictures of this Mahavir's gym. Here, this is an Akada, and here you can see that this Mahavir is still an old man. Then he's training his daughters from that gym. Then here you can see the pictures of this Mahavir and his successful daughters. Okay, not daughters, daughters. Okay. Now, my dear children, I think that you got an idea from this chapter, that this chapter is very interesting as well as inspiring for us to achieve great dreams and goals. So with the hope that everything that we can achieve if we work very hard, then we can wind up today's class, and we want to try our best to achieve our goals. Okay, so if we do the hard work, then its result that we will get, it's sure. Okay, so now we can wind up the class here. Thank you and have a nice day.